All right, it was April 10th, a little video for myself, and wanted to say, if I were to go into I see a guy doing construction renovations right through my window for one of the people's in the block, right? And I was thinking, like, if I were to do construction, I would be the best at construction. Like, I would get a clientele, people that know the quality of my work, and they would. I know some other people that have gotten to that point as well, where they're about to retire and they have a lot of clients and everything, and they don't really have someone to pass down their business or their experience, because it's them, right? It's like a one-man team, and so they got the reputation, and that's good. And I know a few people that are like that have specific clients that really prefer them all the time, that love them. And I know that if I were to go into construction or renovations and all that, that's what I would do as well. And I'm working for myself within that. But I'm also not doing it full time, so not doing it day in, day out, so that I do get to that point where the reputation is there. But I know that if I were to go into that industry, I would do that. Same thing with engineering. If I were to go into being a machinist or going into design and building and fixing machines, I would be the best at it. And I do that for myself with little things here and there, just like electronics and like, I love that stuff. And if I were to really go into it, I would be the best at it. But I know that I can't be the best at everything. I have to choose where I invest my time, and those industries, those physical, tangible industries, really appeal to me, and I'm very drawn to that because it's my pre-programming, right? My dad is like a handyman, worked with some electronics and stuff like that, so I was exposed to some of that stuff early on, and my mom into renovation, construction, and we renovate houses together and stuff, but it doesn't change the system, right? It just supports to maintain the system. And this is where it doesn't make sense to continue down that road, down that support structure. And yeah, in another system, those things would be great. Like, I could go into go into engineering, go into welding, and just have my shop and have so much fun, and that's what I would love doing. But I know that I can't do that in this lifetime yet, because there's bigger problems that I need to tackle, right? Because of my understanding of what's going on in the world, right? With centralized power, with social credits, with technocracies, with legislations that are going on, freedoms, rights, basic needs that we are withholding intentionally for profit and greed and selfishness and fear, right? And that doesn't make any sense. We could be working together, we could be supporting each other effectively, but we are, and I mean as a collective, we are choosing to support things that are not supporting each other individually and collectively, and at the cost of everyone. right? Like if you have a bunch of people around a table and they cannot feed themselves, right? There's a meme like that, and they can feed each other, but they can't feed themselves. As soon as you have people that are trying to feed themselves, take care of themselves at the cost of other people, it affects everyone, because the one that's trying to feed themselves at the cost of another, that other person is now, oh shit, like I'm not getting fed, like how is this working? And so if they don't have the vocabulary and the communication skills to get the other person who is not willing to work together, to cooperate, then that person then needs to go look for other people that can work together or do the same thing for themselves. And so it's a net negative. It translates lack to the next person. And so basically putting people in survival, right? So, and this is even all the way to the top, right? Even the elite, right? They're in survival as well. Like, might not look like it, but there's so much fear of losing it all, and the it's, I imagine it's kind of like a joke where it's like, oh yeah, the population will not stand up, will not like actually become equal to me. Like this is like they're so fucked up, they're so retarded. Like look at them put on masks and believe that they're not enough and all this, and it's like, but anyways, I can only imagine, because yeah, I can have an idea of what it would look like to be in their shoes, right? Just like I can do in any direction, very poor, very rich, and I've talked to some of those people to a certain degree, right? But anyways, all to say that it doesn't matter if I go into engineering, go into construction or something physical, and which I love, when it doesn't solve the problem, right? It just doesn't do anything, it doesn't have an impact in the world in the way that we're in survival, right? And I could be selfish, take care of myself, be like, no, I love fixing machines, building machines, but that's just being selfish and not look in the context of how I can cooperate and work with others more. And why is it important to do it more? Because we all have like mental illness, mental disease. If we are not it's very difficult to communicate, and that prevents us from being able to work together, puts us into survival. So it's like I have the vocabulary of machines and fixing things, building things within a lot of different fields, like construction, again, machines, electricity, mechanical things, right? I guess that's what I was looking for when machines, mechanical, right? Robotics would be really cool to get into for myself. 3D printing, those are very interesting industries, and I've worked and touched those quite a bit. Been on a robotics team in school and worked in CNC machining. There's a lot of automation, robotics within those industries, and I know that it's always like drawing me towards that. I'm not very clear. I need to write this down because it just speaking about it, like, sure, I can see that where I want to go is to support the rebuilding of our foundations, the rebuilding of our education, which I'm doing for myself, right? And this just becomes more and more clear as I go, of like the importance to do this, and that's the priority. That's what puts out the fire that humanity is under: lack of understanding, lack of education, which has so many consequences, right? Like lacking the education to proper nutrition, lacking the education of health, right, in all its facets, lacking education and ability to make money and to effectively communicate, right? What are the consequences of that, right? People in survival. If they had that education, they wouldn't be in survival. And so it's very deliberate. And that's what we need to fix. That's what we need to solve. And I'll just get better and better at explaining it. So I'm going to write this down. I'm going to make some writing around it because this is good, right? Making a video just to realize how it's very difficult to make it clear and understandable. And so maybe it is clear, but we'll see. Bye for now.